How to beat Red Bull. It's a question everyone in the paddock has been asking all year. Ferrari have managed it once, with their wonderful but brief time at the top in Singapore, with Red Bulls mysteriously underperforming. But Red Bull's other main rival, Mercedes, have really been nowhere to be seen. Usually the Silver Arrows are the ones taking the fight to Verstappen and co. But a poor choice of concept at the start of 2022 has hindered any potential developments to their car. And we'll discuss later why those hindrances have been singularly awful to the Merc. But right now, our attention is on the paddock in Suzuka, where post-race, Lewis Hamilton dropped a major bombshell as he revealed Mercedes' plan next year will be to follow McLaren's lead. That of course being, if you can't beat Red Bull, copy them. So what exactly does this mean? To understand what Mercedes are going to do, let's first get to grips with what they won't be doing. And in short, that's everything they did for the last 2 years. Way back in 2022, when Mercedes revealed the now notorious W13, they were the only team on the grid to adopt a zero side pod design, part of a strikingly different shape compared to the rest of the field. And this led to a multitude of issues. First among them was the effect that became known as porpoising, which put simply, is a unique issue that accompanied the FIA's switch to ground effect cars. The cause of this is where the car's floor sucks it too close to the ground, which causes the air to stall and bounce upwards, shifting the car vertically, like what you see here. And while Mercedes weren't the only team to suffer from this, they were the team that struggled the most in trying to fix it due to one simple error. Their car wasn't easily adjustable. Everything about the W13 was built to run the car as close to the ground as possible, meaning that the root of the problem ran deeper than just a suspension height adjustment. And while some of that concept was abandoned for 2023, the issue still persisted. And while the W14 wasn't quite as temperamental as its predecessor, it still wasn't a race car that really inspired confidence in its drivers. Theoretically speaking, there was a lot that seemed to look and work well. Aston Martin's vastly improved car effectively had a Mercedes-designed rear end, suspension and gearbox for the season opener. But the problems remained. A lack of rear rotation related downforce meant that the Merc couldn't stick in the middle of the corners, resulting in drivers fighting the car as it got loose and subsequently not matching their rivals' traction levels on corner exit. Midway into the season, Mercedes threw a bunch of upgrades at the car to see what stuck. But now, finally, it seems that they've capitulated to popular opinion and have chosen to follow in McLaren's footsteps in trying to emulate Red Bull's rocket ship design in as many aspects as possible, as they announced their full steam ahead on development for 2024. Now, this might not be a one-stop solution to their 2-year title drought, but it is a start. McLaren's evolution plan has been a very simple one. Try and emulate Red Bull's strengths. Their MCL60 is a car that started the year looking very similar to Red Bull, but the difference couldn't have been starker when it came to on-track performance. But McLaren's sweeping revisions in Spa and Austria hauled them back up to the front of the pack, with one simple tweak trying to emulate Red Bull's not-so-secret weapon, the seemingly nuclear-powered DRS. Red Bull have enjoyed a top speed advantage in qualifying up to 5 miles an hour faster than the rest of the grid when using DRS on the straights. This potency is derived from the ratio of drag delivered by the RB19's rear wing and beam wing. Red Bull's grippy, high downforce, larger rear wing surface increases drag, but produces greater contrasted DRS benefits when the flap is open. They compensate for this bigger surface by deploying a much lower drag or single element beam wing, enabling the team to maintain straight line efficiency despite running a larger rear wing surface. McLaren replicated this with the revisions it made to the MCL60 at Spa. While they were still relying on a double element beam wing, new offloaded geometry traded load from the beam wing to the rear wing main plane, thus reducing aerodynamic load and drag. And Sergio Perez's crash at Monaco gave the whole grid a good look at Red Bull's other big advantage component, their floor, and especially the Venturi tunnels responsible for the ground effect grip that no one has come close to matching in 2023. And while a brand new super secret version of this floor was introduced in Suzuka, restoring Red Bull's dominance, it seems that back at Mercedes, they know now exactly what to do to get similar performance from their car next year, with Lewis Hamilton reporting that he's visiting the Mercedes engineers in Brackley this week to check on the W15 in the wind tunnel and ensure that they're making the exact requested changes based on his observations on track. They've described the next 6 months as the most crucial ever toward bridging the performance gap, and from the sounds of it, they're right on track. Lewis currently sits third in the Drivers' Championship, with their goal seemingly chasing down the walking, talking, crashing meme that is currently Checo Perez. And if they can do that in a car that seemingly can't do anything right, then who knows what they could do in a machine capable of matching Max Verstappen in the Adrian Newey rocket ship. Would that be enough for them to claim their 8th WDC? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed that video and want to support the channel, please like, subscribe, and consider clicking the link below to have your say on what content I cover next. But as always, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, stay safe out on the road, and I'll see you next time.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes it. Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world. Stuart Cankin, 4 times title holder.